Today is 4 years in the making of the build of a 1962 Huey helicopter. It was a green fuselage that we loaded up on a trailer out here in Malaga 4 years ago with all the inventory, shipped it over to Olympia to have it built into this beautiful helicopter you see behind me now. They're workhorses. The parts are readily available. They're still widely popular. The cost per gallon to drop is cheap. And in our case, we have buckets under them. Some of them have belly tanks, but we chose to have buckets, and that helps in the different fuel types. It works in both the shrub steppe grass that's running and in the timber. We shipped bins of parts over that all had to be refurbished and overhauled and all put together, all the wiring. 1,000 moving parts had to be put together from scratch. We are vulnerable at times to not having an aircraft in place. During the summer, we have an interlocal agreement with the Department of Natural Resources where they provide the pilot, we provide the crew members. They often provide crew members as well. But when we get a large fire anywhere in the state, the air assets are deployed. When they're deployed, oftentimes we don't have a helicopter come in and backfill, and we have wildland fires here all the time. So now we can bring in our local pilots and backfill this helicopter to protect our community and region. The primary pilots during the summer are employees of the Department of Natural Resources with thousands of hours of flight time, lots of them former military pilots. They are just wonderful at putting fires out for us. And then we have pilots that are full-time in the private sector that come fill in and staff when we need them as well. And they're fantastic. They go through all the same training that the DNR pilots go through. In fact, the DNR pilots train them and then check them off. Gary Shales, who's a full-time life flight pilot, but also a part-time pilot for us. They drove over this morning and he was able to pick it up and fly back with one of our helicopter managers, Gavin Burnett, and one of our fire commissioners who's been with the fire department for about 50 years, Phil Dormaier. Commissioner Dormaier has seen the aviation program start from nothing to what we have now. Now we have two beautiful Hueys in service.
We started the aviation at Fire District 1 clear back in the early 1980s, and with one Mike Romeo, and so it's been around for decades, as you can see, and so this ship was sitting in the hangar for decades. And so after the Sleepy Hollow fire, where we had trouble getting any kind of air support for that incident back in 2015, I finally raised the question, and I said, we've got this ship sitting down here in the hangar, and why don't we use it? Why don't we get it in service? Because if we're going to be facing these circumstances in the future, then we've got the assets, we've got the air assets, and so we should be willing to make an investment in them and use them. So today it's here, we've made the investment, it's available for all of us here in the community, and it's a great thing.